Welcome back, guys. So we have a return customer here from Georgia, Mr. Lamar Butts. He originally came in for a 850 package that we offer, where we do our valve springs, cam, and lower pulley, along with the cold air intake and a set of headers and exhaust. At that time, we also installed an E85 flex fuel sensor, so he also had the option of mixing E85, and he was happy with the product, enjoyed it for a couple months, and then he was like, you know what, I'm ready for the next step. He decided to go ahead and do a Maggie 2650, which we're going to pair with Nick Williams 103 throttle body. And he's also going to get our coil relocation. That's very popular now. We're going to go ahead and take the coil packs off the valve covers and install our LMR valve covers on there and relocate them inside the fenders so you don't see the coil packs at all. It's definitely going to clean up the engine bay, and it's one of my favorite things for these cars, just to unclutter the engine bay from all these hoses and wires that makes it look so busy. Yeah.
What else? Did you mention the injectors?
Yeah. Did I mention this?
I don't know. Maybe the other take you mentioned.
I think I mentioned the other take.
How about you mention those injectors?
Then he's also going to go ahead and get these 30% injectors in Lingenfelter big bore pump that I forgot to mention in the video. But yeah. And he's also going to get a P3 gauge in the dash, so you can see his ethanol content live, so he knows exactly how much E85 is going into it. Back here again, this is Mr. Lamar Butts' factory fuel rails here. We're going to go ahead and install our XDI 30% upgraded injectors. They supply a higher flow when we have E85 going into these vehicles, and since we're also going ahead and doing a Maggie setup with this guy, we need that extra fueling when E85, since we're going to turn that boost up and have a lot more volume in the cylinders. And this is a very simple plug-and-play system. They're basically like OEM injectors, just the internals get rebuilt and ported basically, in a sense, to make the atomization and flow a lot better. So XDI goes ahead and flow tests every single injector. They include this data sheet, which reads out the flow rate, the static flow rate, and all the individual specs, because injectors can vary one to another, so they go ahead and make sure they're all within 1% of each other according to this chart here. So that way, when you go ahead and tune your vehicle, you can go ahead and know, hey, all these injectors are matched. We're not going to have a power imbalance because an injector is lacking on one end of the fuel rail or the other. And they're very good with this. I've seen these run just like OEM, have no issues, and obviously improve the performance of the vehicle through their accuracy and precision. So if we add a little dab of dielectric grease to our O-rings before we install them, just along the edge, with a little, let's see, just a little dab will do you. You just spread it across the O-ring. You go ahead, slide it in. I usually do a rotating rocking motion. That way you're not focusing the edge of that machine surface. You have a nice install. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process on all the other 7 that we have missing, and we'll have a brand new set of injectors installed. And slide these on until they fit flush, but we have to make sure, as you can see, the end here has a indexing mark, and those have to be lined up so the connector lines up with the harness. So we're going to go ahead and make sure those are centered, stick our connector, make sure our lock is flattened out. We can go ahead and install these in the car. So now, oh, there we go. We have our new injector installed. So we're back. I went ahead and I installed our fuel injectors that we did previously, and I also installed our pressure fuel pump that's been bored out by Lingenfelter. So our fueling system up front is done. Now we're going to go ahead and install our signature edition Fereday valve covers. This gets paired with our coil pack relocation. Definitely cleans up the engine build. I'm going to go ahead and throw those on real quick. So we got a coil relocation here. This is a custom setup we make in-house where we go ahead and mount all our 4 coil packs on each side on the fenders. We also have a custom set of spark plug wires that we get made to length for the relocation. That way all the wires are to the proper length where the coil packs will live in the fender well. I'm going to go ahead and install these real quick.
See, getting a too hot PSI.
Yeah.
Man, looks like you just pulled up a fish.
Woo! Sick. Nice. Nice.
So Lamar did come into town. We're going to take him for a quick ride before we get this thing cleaned up and shipped back to Georgia. So I think I said before, I said it was a year ago he came. It was only...
Yeah, like what, 4 months ago?
4 months ago he came for the 800. My brain is scrambled.
Right.
So he came, making right at over 700 rear wheel horsepower before. And even back then you were saying I kind of want the Magnuson.
Yeah.
So most customers wait a year. He waited 3 months and said, screw it.
Screw it. Let's go. Let's do it.
It ran good before though?
That's right.
Like a normal 800?
Yeah, it did. It was solid. You know, it ran perfect, but it was just like, man, you know what? Yeah, let's bump it up. Yeah, like.
Wait till you feel this, dude. I'm gonna go this way. We got the Toyos on it. We'll just go from a 3rd gear roll.
Yeah, holy shit.
I mean, it pulls, it does not stop.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's instant, and then, like I said, with manual mode, it shifts all by itself, so you ain't gotta do nothing. But before, we got into 5th gear, but we don't have enough room right here to keep going. Before, with the, I call it our 800 horsepower package, again, I drive some of these cars, I get used to them. When they go into 5th gear, they kind of fall on their face because of the way these things are geared. With this horsepower, man, it still pulls and drives through it.
Constantly,
This 60 to 130 and these are a lot better. Dude. Just because it keeps pulling. And efficiency, right?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier before we got in the car. Again, when we spec out these packages like this, and I try to put my own personal touch on it, yes, we want the performance to be there. We want the drivetrain components to be there, but also like the supercharger, we want it to be efficient. So we're keeping this setup around 15 pounds of boost because of the heat exchanger. He doesn't have an ice tank in the back right now. Again, for him doing his normal weekend stuff, it's really not needed. at this horsepower level, but if he does want more later, which might be a possibility, that's when we will turn the boost up, and then what I'd recommend doing the ice tank in the back.
Yeah.
That way, normal driving even right here, it'll be better, the coolant temps will stay better, and then if you ever did go to a drag strip, or even, like I said, a lot of these guys, they go to these car meets at night, they meet up in a parking lot and or a gas station, they talk who's gonna race who, and they go out and race. Well, most people go inside and buy their ice bags and put it in their ice tanks before they go out and roll race. So essentially, you know, I'd recommend doing the same thing for you later.
Yeah. Once again, like I said before in the last video, I'll be back within a couple of months, probably. Yeah, I'm sure.
Dude, to be honest, this is like I always tell people, 750 rear wheel horsepower in a Corvette to me is like the perfect horsepower that I feel like anyone can drive, hold on to it, feel comfortable once they get used to it, and be super reliable. That's like the number I say is great for a Corvette. This is another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I will say, again, the way we build it, super reliable. You can do everything the same way you did before. We have the P3 gauge here to show you the ethanol content, whether you're on pump gas at 10% or fill it all the way up with straight E85, it can be up to 80%. And the way we do the fuel system on here, you can run straight E, straight pump gas, or a mix, and just have nothing to worry about. Drive it anywhere you want, floor it whenever you want, and it'd be good to go.
Right.
Just for the heck of it, honestly, what it does. It'll hook. I mean, it's gonna spin, but traction control should keep us going. But you might feel it limit us a little bit, and then take off. You know what I mean?
That's right. I forgot about that damn seatbelt. I trust you driving
You're in good
though,
hands.
bro.
You're in good
I
hands.
know that you've been doing this for a long time, bro. You're a legend. The one thing I can say.
And at the nice Fereday racetrack we're on, you know.
Yeah.
We're nice and safe.
Nice and safe, baby.
All right. So yeah, we'll do second gear. Let's let it spin a little bit. Ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
For the second gear,
Yeah.
control it kind of took, and then took off and then grabbed third. It spun, traction control hit it, spun, traction control saved us, and then once it grabbed third, it took off. Them shifts feel awesome, though, don't they? It's just bam.
Holy shit. Yeah, it just fucking just hit like you said.
That's good.
God damn, dude.
Can you tell a big difference?
Oh my God. Big difference.
That's what I tell people. It's a couple hundred horsepower ain't no joke. Like, that's rear wheel horsepower. People always talk flywheel numbers, like yes, this is over 1,000 flywheel horsepower, but when you go from, let's say, 750 flywheel to 800 horsepower flywheel, like on an engine dyno, driving the car, you don't really feel much.
Right.
200 rear wheel horsepower, you feel.
Holy shit, bro. You got me second guessing myself like, damn, this motherfucker's nasty. Like, holy shit.
And again, my main thing is I want it to be as sick as possible and then be reliable, you know? And your main thing, again, you said, what? You want it to look badass under the hood.
Look badass up in the hood. So go to a couple events, you know, like go to Pop the Hood, represent the shop and everything, and just gonna, you know, like people's jaws gonna be dropping, you know?
I said it on camera before you got in. It's one of my favorite, I think my favorite under the hood C7Z that we've done to date. It looks awesome. I love the black and the red.